Data science. You've probably heard of the buzzword. Some articles even consider data science the sexiest job of the 21st century. Although you've heard of data science, did you know there are different types of data science problems? In this video, we'll go through the 3 types of data science using the lemonade stand analogy. Let's start by introducing Elle. Elle owns a lemonade business for the past 5 years. One day she wonders, how can I grow my business further and attract new customers? She turns to her best friend Jay, who is a data scientist, to help her with this problem. Elle asks Jay, can you help me visualize how much money I'm making on a monthly basis? To do this, Jay collects all of the receipts in the past year and organizes these data into a structured table where each row tells us a specific transaction and each column tells us a feature of that transaction. Using this table, Jay can now easily compute the sum of revenue by each month and plot this information into a graph. This type of analysis is called descriptive analysis, where we essentially want to describe the data that we have. When Elle and Jay look at this chart, they notice an interesting pattern. It seems like in the colder months, the sales are much lower than the warmer months. This makes sense to them because their customers may prefer to drink cold lemonade when it's warm than when it's cold, which explains why they're seeing higher revenue in warmer months than colder months. Jay then asks, what if we can predict the monthly revenue for the next year? To do this, Jay uses machine learning to find a pattern which best describes the relationship between month of the year and revenue. Elle can then use this pattern to forecast how much revenue she's going to make in the future. This is great because Elle can use this forecast in many different ways. For example, she can use this information to estimate the demand of her lemonade in the future, and by knowing this, she can also plan out how much supplies, for example lemon and sugar, to buy, which will then help her cut costs and plan more efficiently. We call this type of analysis predictive analytics, where our goal is to find relationships in our data, and we use these relationships to predict what's going to happen in the future. Elle now has another question. Does the brand of sugar I'm using for my lemonade impact my revenue? Elle switches between 2 brands of sugar throughout the year. She uses the brands Pleasant Sweetness and Spoonful Delight. She wonders if her customers prefer one over the other. To answer this question, Jay conducts an analysis comparing the revenue of Elle's lemonade with Pleasant Sweetness versus Spoonful Delight. His analysis shows that there seems to be higher revenue when Elle uses Spoonful Delight than Pleasant Sweetness. With this insight, Elle switches her sugar brand to Spoonful Delight. 1 year later, her revenue increased 3 times. This type of analysis is called prescriptive analysis, where our goal is to understand the cause and effects of the different variables. We just went through the 3 types of data science. Let's summarize them again. We have descriptive analysis, where we simply want to describe our existing data, which can be in the form of a chart or some other statistics. We also have predictive analytics, where our goal is to find relationships in our data, and we use these relationships to predict what's going to happen in the future. And last but certainly not least is the prescriptive analysis, where our goal is to understand the cause and effect of the different variables. That concludes our video. If you want to learn more about data science, don't forget to like and subscribe. This makes sense to them because their customers may prefer to drink cold lemonade when it's warm than when it's cold, which explains why they're seeing higher revenue in warmer months than colder months.